Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Young Sutton and welcome to my channel. Now the idea for this video just hit me a few moments ago, so I know somebody out there is asking for it. Now I'd like to talk about how to move through a line of cards in a small spread, a small horizontal linear spread, right, which typically consists of 3, 5, or maybe 7 cards. Now keep in mind that this is not the same as a descriptive reading where you either pre-select a center focus card or you just set your intention that the center card will be the focus, in which case you then lay your cards on either side of that card to add details or further explain that center card. Let me show you an example of that quickly because I really want you to understand the difference. I'm just showcasing my 2 babies here. You 2 wait over here. You behave yourselves. Okay, so, first of all, when I say you pre-select a center card, I mean that you are purposefully going through your deck, right? You got your deck turned over now and you're like, oh, I want to ask about money. What's my money card? Fish. Okay, so then you place that purposely in the center. And then you turn your cards back over, you shuffle, set your intention and all that, and then you draw 2 random cards or 4 or 6, however many cards you want, which you decide ahead of time. On either side to describe that, all right? That's when you pre-select a center card. But even a descriptive reading where you just already set your intention that your center card is your focus, but you want it to fall naturally, right? An example of that, let me think of a good descriptive question. How will I feel? Oh, how will I feel about my new boss the moment I meet her? That's a good one. All right, so we have the ways. How perfect is that? Okay, wait, let me zoom in. I'm using a mini deck here. Teeny little cards. Okay, so how will I feel about my boss the minute I meet her? Here we have the dog, and let me grab another card. Okay. How will I feel about my boss the minute I meet her? Center card is where you start because you decided that you laid that card first. You decided that's your focus, right? You are going to be undecided. This new boss will appear trustworthy and friendly enough, but you are going to withhold judgment until you have more information. That's the book. Okay, that's an example of a descriptive reading. That's not what I'm talking about here. I think a lot of you are really good at those types of readings. What I'd like to discuss here is my standard way of reading, which is commonly called a narrative line or a storyline, all right? And it's no different than reading a comic strip where the story progresses from left to right. And this process couldn't be more organic or natural. And this is how we read. And it involves looking at the cards one at a time with the intention of gathering more information with each card, okay? This is not, where you're skipping around and mirroring and doing this, that, and the other thing. This is just reading the line across. Simple, simple, simple. Okay? So, what do? I want to use an example where there's no context and no question, just so we can try to figure out what the cards are saying. I think that's the best way of doing that. So let's throw down the anchor. Let's drop our anchor. And next we have the bear. And then the whip. Oh, there you go. It's a good one. Okay. All right. So we have the anchor, the bear, and the whip, right? So what do? You look at your first card and you ask, what are you trying to tell me? What is this about, right? Then you move to the next card asking for more information. This is where you're asking what about this first card, or when, or why, or how, or where, or who, right? This card is explaining, it's describing, it's answering the question that you have about the first card. All right, so now you have a richer story with 2 cards, but you have to move on to the next card. Again, you ask your questions, right? What about, I already know something about, from these 2 cards, I have a bit of a story here. So what's this third one adding? You ask again, like what, when, how, who, where, why, all right? Okay, so let's see. So where does the story begin? Well, if the anchor is your work card, you could say it starts with work, or it's the card of security. It's an end point. It's a goal intention. it's stability, it's dependability. All right, so you know that much. Move on to the next card. What about that? What about the anchor? The bear says control it, manage it, take charge of it, maybe exert your weight, protect it. It could be warning you that this is attracting envy. It's telling you to assert yourself, maybe. Or it could just be saying that it's bringing you good fortune, right? All right, so now you have a richer story. Where's this story heading? Look at your next card. Now we have the whip. This is heading to discord, a struggle, a dispute, maybe backlash. Could be spiking frustration and irritation. Okay? All right, so let's move on to another example. Okay. Let's throw down the garden and the ship. And, oh, here we go. Mr. Snake. There we go. Now we got the garden, the ship, the snake. All right. Where does the story begin? In the public realm or an outside environment. You're out and about. You're with other people. You may be socializing, entertaining, networking, or simply getting out of the house or getting out of your head, right? Expanding your thinking. All right, so now you know that much. Move on to the next card. What about it? What about this garden? The ship is the next card. Now, I know this is a directional card. This is a very directional card, right, for so many people. And notice that it's heading away from the garden, not to it. But regardless, it's the next card. It's the card that's following this. So it's carrying the story of this card forward, all right? So we could say... we could say that, well, you always start with your primary vibe and your basic meaning. So what does the ship represent? Commerce and trade and ventures to bring in wealth. It represents journeys and adventures. It shows expansion, reaching further, going the distance, getting away, making the trip, transporting something from point A to point B. It can represent something foreign or exotic, as well as a slow voyage, or even a rite of passage, which I'm already thinking of here because it's following the garden, which can represent a ceremony or event, right? This could be a rite of passage. So notice that you're not making up your mind yet, though. You don't have all the details, right? Don't be so quick to make up your mind before you've looked at all the cards, right? You want to put together their details and look for correlations among them in order to put together a story, right? But putting that story together in the correct order makes all the difference in the world. All right, so now you look at the last card to find where the story ends. Where is this venture or adventure heading? You have the snake as the final card. Well, what does this tell you about your journey? Is it going to be smooth sailing? Is it going to end the way you wanted or the way you expected? That's an important aspect of the snake, right? Unexpected. What does the snake say to you regarding travel? It's the card of detours, of hidden dangers, of complications. The snake is the card of a twisted path. It's not a straight one. So no, this is not smooth sailing, is it? Something isn't right or won't go as expected. Remember I said unexpected. You can expect many twists and turns on your journey. All right, so like remember I just mentioned, I was thinking rite of passage, such as a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah. What would the snake tell you about that? Well, as excited as you are to be reaching this stage of your life, right? You're now feeling grown up and you want to be taken seriously as an adult, right? But the snake is telling you that you're also now going to be held accountable for your words and actions as an adult. Your childhood free pass just expired. Right? Now, that's still not saying that this rite of passage is horrible, but it's just saying you're going to encounter some unexpected, complications that you weren't anticipating. That's all. Okay? All right, I'm going to end it right there. That's it for this video, my friends. I hope you found that helpful. As always, take from it what you will and keep playing with those cards. So until our stars align again, keep shining your light. Bye, everybody.